Forget getting a house, Americans will be forced to live in pods soon, and wouldn't you know it, San Francisco's already leading the way for this new way of life.
It's small, but it's all part of the sacrifice. That's what a group of AI founders are telling themselves when they pay $700 a month to rent a sleeping pod in San Francisco.
Well, the pod is the size of a twin bed, so it's not very large, but it gets the job done, right? It's enough. You just need a place to sleep.
How many hours do you get?
Sleeping? Like 8 hours. I get a good rest. I mean, it gets a little toasty in the pod, but I mean, it's like I sleep fine.
Christian Lewis took these photos from inside his pod. A week ago, he moved to the city from Illinois to keep growing his AI company.
I actually pushed off coming to San Francisco for a really long time, but it's been absolutely net positive without a doubt. Like just within the first couple of days, I met some of the smartest people I've met in my entire life. So that's the reason I came, and that's the reason I'm staying, and that's the reason why I'm living in a pod.
Are you willing to live in that small space for $700 a month? I mean, seriously? And you can clearly see that you can't stand in these things. The height is around 4 feet, so good luck with that. Talk about being claustrophobic, right? And I don't think that this video addressed it, but where will you put all your stuff? I guess they have lockers, but are we now living in a time where it's just too far-fetched to rent an entire apartment and make your dreams come true? Now, the worst part for these people is that these buildings are getting citations because the pods are supposedly in violation of permitting laws. So yeah, we might actually see these spots closed down depending upon, whether they'll be allowed to continue housing these people. But again, anybody in the community that thinks that this is a good alternative to homes and apartments? And will we see more of it across the states? Tell you what, if you think that we're headed toward a world where our space becomes smaller and smaller, I'm talking about houses, apartments, bedrooms, bathrooms, all of it becoming smaller, comment yes down in the comment section down below. And if not, then comment no. And while you guys are down there, make sure to smash that like button. I talk about stuff that not many outlets are willing to talk about, especially since I love sharing the truth. And if you guys don't want to miss out on any of these updates, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on all notifications so you don't miss out on any of these videos. I appreciate that, you guys. So moving on. Remember when I talked about the imminent crash of commercial real estate? Well, we're already seeing it accelerate even faster than I had imagined because a 400,000 square foot office in Huntington Beach has recently sold for $42 million, or about 50% off of its initial price. Can you guys believe that? So Pendulum Property got this place for $124.5 million back in 2018. So I guess something happened for that price to fall like that. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys have any idea as to why this building in California suddenly had a sale? Unrelated to that, LA County has now moved to a zero bail system. And well, some folks there aren't happy with this.
You both. Well, this is a major change to the LA County court systems. As you mentioned, it would make those who are arrested with non-violent, non-serious crimes allowed to be released immediately, meaning they will not be held on any bond, no bail. So we've been speaking to folks all morning long about it, and they say they have more questions about this policy, questions that bring about a fair amount of concern, like what does non-violent crimes exactly mean and who is deciding that? People would say this is for a non-violent crime.
What defines what is non-violent? That's the problem.
Would you say that someone coming and trying to break into my house is a non-violent issue? And then what happens if they break in?
When they see or hear about people being released immediately after an arrest, it negatively impacts their confidence in our criminal justice system. If you can't go to work because your car was stolen and you realize that even the person who stole it is caught and they will be released without posting bail before you can even get back to your car, you might question if the system is fair or not.
We want to make sure we are releasing the right people, and our previous bail system didn't guarantee that. We could release people who could pay their way out. And as I'm listening today and hear about the magistrate process, that there's a new layer of evaluation. It's a new tool in the toolbox to make sure that we are actually evaluating people to make sure that people who are released are the right people.
This is really a hot topic right now, not just with LA County, but with different states. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this kind of rule helps out, or does it instead create a negative stigma toward the justice system? Now, this next part is directly related to it, and it's with retailer Target. Now get this, guys. Target just announced that they're teaming up with Homeland Security to fight theft. I mean, I'll give you guys a quick second to absorb that information, but yeah, it looks like Target is done. They're done closing their stores, and they're now investing to keep the ones open that they do have, but they're going to do this with the help of Homeland Security.
In less than a month, 3 Bay Area Target retail stores are set to close. Target, located on Century Boulevard in Pittsburgh, Broadway and 27th in Oakland, and the one located on Folsom in San Francisco, gone effective October 21st.
I think it is a disappointment, especially because I moved around the area to be close to shopping centers and things like Target and get my groceries.
Target is blaming organized retail theft for their closures, saying in part, "We cannot continue operating these stores because theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our team and guests and contributing to unsustainable business performance."
I see them when they're in the front and they're taking things out of their bags. Yeah.
How often do you see that here?
I have seen it at least 3 times, and I don't come here that often, so I know it's bad around here. Yeah.
Rows of tents surround the area where Target on Folsom is located. Residents are not surprised by Target's decision here, pointing to a decline in safety.
What are some of the safety strategies Target implemented to prevent this from happening?
Well, Karina, Target's team said they made significant investments to keep stores safe, including hiring private security guards, training their employees to de-escalate potential safety issues. They also partner with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to combat retail theft and track organized crime groups.
But here's a question here. Do you think that this is going to help other retailers as well? Is this where we're at right now? We need Homeland Security just to kind of like keep retail theft down? And just to kind of close this out on a more humorous note, all right? I know I said that theft and retailers are a hot topic right now, but did you see the latest issue with iPhones? So as it turns out, metal is a great conductor for heat. And who would have thought, huh? So that titanium variant of the iPhone 15 is getting criticized for overheating just days after they were bought. Some users even said that it's getting hot even though they're not using it.
Apple now saying that it will issue a software update that would address customer complaints about the latest iPhone 15 models overheating. The tech giant saying today that the new iPhones were running hot because of a combination of bugs in the iOS 17 and then bugs also in apps and a temporary setup period that requires extra processing. Apple said that an update to address those issues won't reduce the performance of those new, very expensive devices.
I mean, that's weird, right? Any of you guys got the new iPhone 15? Are you experiencing heat issues? Now, although Apple is defending the, how do I call it, aesthetic decision? Yeah, the aesthetic decision to have metal for a phone's case, as they're saying that this is just a software issue. They're also saying that this is not a safety risk, even though some people say that the phones can get too hot when they charge it, and that it can even get up to a point where they don't even want to touch the darn thing. Wow. Does anybody have an iPhone 15 or know anyone with an iPhone 15 that can confirm this? I don't have an iPhone 15. I'm just wondering. But what do you guys think about that? I mean, that's the beauty of selling these things, huh? You can just blame software for the mistakes made by the design team, but hey, maybe this overheating issue will be solved with the next software iOS update, right? But what do I know? What are your thoughts on today's stories? Anything fun that you guys can share that relates to any of it? Don't hesitate to get into conversation in the comments section down below. And before I go, I want to thank you guys so much for being with me. Thank you for dropping a like for the video. Thank you for subscribing. Keep safe, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one.